Welcome to the Court V Digested. Right, let's have some gloriousness this morning. This is absolutely marvellous. So good evening, good morning, good afternoon or good night, wherever you are. This is from The Spectator in Australia, so we're back down under. And it's absolutely glorious. I was so pleased to find this because last few days have been a bit tough, haven't they? Hey? Talking to my warrior teacher is always hard. You know, it is hard right now, okay? But take some joy in what follows. Buy me a coffee, you know, the usual. Yep, become a warrior teacher, join my Substack, blah, 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 right? So here we go with this rather marvellous piece of work, which was written by Alexandra Marshall, who I think deserves some kind of award because it's so good. I was sitting in a cafe last week when I overheard the pair sitting beside me. It was one of those pigeonhole coffee houses where patrons are elbow to elbow, rendering eavesdropping a requirement. At best I could gather, the woman in her mid-30s was a biology lecturer at one of the many universities. The young Asian man was a foreign student with near-perfect English and a calm demeanour. She was restless and became more so as the conversation dragged on until she reminded me of a toddler squirming around with a distinct air of immaturity. The conversation appeared to be one of those re-education chats common among Western universities when a student does something crazy, like refuse to bow and scrape at the feet of progressive propaganda. In this case, the biology lecturer was interrogating this poor young man about the difference between biological sex and the postmodernist reimagining of gender. Sex and gender are the same thing, the young man shrugged. Can you imagine the look on that nutter woman's face? Sexy, I wish she spat her bloody coffee out. Sex and gender are the same thing, the young man shrugged. His crime was evident. How dare he see the world so clearly? What it means to be a man has changed. What it means to be a woman has changed, she replied, as if that was some sort of answer to his statement. That's why you can change sexes. Means to be makes no sense. What does it mean to be a woman, he replied, searching for a clarification. We love this guy already. Searching for a clarification. That had her stumped. It's through history, like, it changes. My faith in the youth of this world was immediately restored. The young man was not buying the half-assed ramblings and nonsensical rebuttals that mounted to, because I say so. Genius, Alexander. This is genius. Why separate sex and gender, he pushed, no doubt sensing the woman's fidgeting panic. It is stupid. It makes no sense. The starkness of his ungilded words threw her off. It was the same thing with racism. Like we didn't want to separate them. Every line's a gem, Alexander. Every line's a gem. This time the man's eyebrows furrowed. He took a sip of his coffee, bewildered by her pivot to racism. What? He eventually replied. That's not an argument. It needs to be forced. We have to force the separation of gender and sex. Why? He asked, still not following. Because it is more inclusive. Her voice rose in annoyance. It says what it means to be a woman could be because they identify as that. Keep in mind at this point, I'm transcribing word for word. The whole scene's glorious. Pretending to drink my coffee, I couldn't help it. They were fascinating. I'd found a wild case study on the demise of social justice propaganda. The man took another sip of coffee. I don't blame him. None of that makes sense. Sex is used for men, she declared. Sex is for, like, If I'm a trans woman and I went to a hospital and they want to know my sex, that's when I would say I was born male. That's where it ends. Wait! Right. He narrowed his eyes. Not sure if the woman was aware of what she admitted to. So you're a trans woman, but you're still a man when reality gets involved. Oh, that was the upper, that's, you know, the uppercut. And she's got her coffee, and she's back. That was almost a KO there. It was almost a KO. No, trans women are real women, but a man. You've got to say that again. No, trans women are real women, but a man. The male student's face fell into a distinctive, I've wasted 10 years of my life studying to get into this university look. Remember, he's the kid. She's the biology lecturer. It was at this point that I required a quick coffee top-up. But when I came back, the woman had resumed her attempts to re-educate the student. Her course of action was to start a debate about gender being an outward expression of appearance, the clothes, the makeup, the wig, etc. It's the womanhood is a performance argument we see propagated to validate the social media trend of men experiencing womanhood through vacuous TikTok posts bankrolled by fashion labels. If you want to wear a dress, she said, wear a dress. He said, if you want to wear a dress, wear a dress. Picking at the tangled net of her logic with a fishing knife. It doesn't make you a girl, it makes you a dude. In a dress, who wants to look feminine. Find this man and give him an award. That's, no. Her argument shifted again. Gender is influenced by more than just biology. His head tilted like a bird of prey spying an injured bug on the lawn. So, you wouldn't separate sport based on gender? No, she said, sports segregation is based on sex. But you just said trans women should be allowed to play women's sport because they are real women. That's a gender argument for sex division. You've confused the two. The student, of course, was correct. His biology lecturer was using two mutually exclusive arguments surrounding the definition of gender to suit different points. When viewed holistically, her comments became incoherent. If this was a debate on Twitter, she would have rage quit by now, blocked the man, and put up some kind of "I've been bullied by toxic masculinity" post. It's just incredible. Trapped in a cafe with real people, all she could do was bang her spoon around the insides of her coffee cup in frustration. He dug her deeper into that hole. We don't separate sport teams by race. There is no Asian football team. But we do separate by gender. That implies there is a real biological difference. You're really focused on the words, she complained. But why does it matter so much? And he responds with, I want to marry him. Because reality matters. Have that, you postmodern, wibbling, middle-class, Chianti, quaffing, lecturing womble. Right? The banging of her spoon grew louder. She changed the topic. Gender has something to do with what you look like, she reattempted her point. I believe this is what trans people call passing. The likes of Blair White have explained this far better. And he then responded with, I'm a big guy. If you saw me in a dark alley, would you feel safer if I was wearing a dress? No, she replied quickly. But according to you, I'm a woman when I'm wearing a dress. No, not exactly. Like being a woman is like women wear bras. Bras are part of the female identity. It's part of the gender expression as a woman. A woman is a bra. Imagine if your entire life was predicated on the fact that in reality you are simply the over-shoulder boulder hunter. He then said to her, are you wearing a bra? Not right now. Actually, I don't wear them very often. So you're not a woman? I love him, right? So you're not a woman. If there was a reply to that, I didn't catch it. What if someone was a menacing woman? He tried again. A woman who looked blokey. Is their gender male? She was taken aback. No. Like if you're a man in a dress but still look manly. That was a critical error on her part. But you just said a few seconds ago that gender is all about how you feel, not your biology looks. Or looks. No, but... So women are always women, even if they feel blokey. But men are only trans women if they look the part of a woman, unless they are feeling female, because self-ID is always valid. She was stumped. What? What? She said. Finally, the poor boy lost it. Exactly. It makes no sense. You make no sense. It was at this point the assumed biology lecturer was interrupted by the Harry Potter ringtone on her phone. And I decided to leave before I did something embarrassing, like shake the guy's hand and congratulate him on permanently traumatising his university elder. Whether he passes his biology course is another matter altogether. That is just... It's a tale from down under, right? And it's just glorious. Just glorious. A simple coffee and you end up with a woman confused. I hope you enjoyed that as much as I did, because it was just... Where is he? Find him, right? Because it was just glorious. And an absolutely brilliant write-up as well from Alexander Marshall. So Alexander, thank you very much. You can buy her a coffee at Donor Box if you like. I think it deserves it, don't you? What a wonderful piece. Thank you very much indeed, Alexander. And thank you very much to you for watching. Like, share, subscribe, the usual stuff. And I'll see you again soon. Bye-bye.